Hello, everybody. Good afternoon or good evening. Uh, Hope you are all doing well. Uh, Whoever is joining me, thank you very much. And this is the 31st day we're doing this calming the mind exercise routine. And I really think we should be slowing down and taking some time for us for self care. And one of the important part of that is how you relax your mind. Okay, so that kind of thing, right? So I've been talking about wellness. I'm a physician. I know what is illness is and how dreadful people suffer because of the chronic diseases, and they control the symptoms, but the disease gets uh, progressive unabatedly because people don't spend enough time to take care of themselves. They don't even eat properly. They don't even stop for some time to calm their mind. And that's very, very important. To be healthy, you want to have a very relaxed and focused and attentive mind, right? These days, everybody is trying to take our attention away. So that's why I come on these rooms and talk about how to take care of yourself better, and also how you really spend some time with all aspects of you, the body, the mind, the spirit, and all of that, right? It's not selfish. It is like being responsible and being smart, so that we don't have to suffer, first of all, and also we can live in really good health and joyfully. And modern medicine helps us to live long, no doubt about it, with all the uh, mm, vaccines, all the good food, all the good water, and all those things are good. But then we are not having some of those in some corners of the world also. But whatever we have, the privileges, we should be really cherishing it and really grateful. And then really taking care of our bodies and our minds also. So eat well, drink well, and make sure that your air is not polluted. And then you relax and you kind of calm down from all the tensions that people put us through in the modern life. So self-care is where I'm coming from. So I have this new slogan: live long, yeah, for sure, but live well and live in joy. Living longer is possible with modern medicine. Yeah, sure. But then a lot of people live with a lot of chronic diseases that are going on underneath their skin, and they're trying to take medications and everything. Lots of times they're only controlling the symptoms, but not really eradicating the root causes of their chronic illnesses, right? Some of them have gone so far away they cannot really reverse them. They have to put up with them. But then, if you really smart and really know the health principles, all the knowledge that we have, I think we can live very long, very well, and also very joyfully too. I kind of partial about ancient systems are trying to help us to not only live longer, but also live well and also live in joy, right? There's high Ivy. So a lot of people are not paying attention to this because they go on in a hurry, right? Always in a hurry. Yeah, eating also hurry. They don't have enough time, so they gulp things down and go, and they don't take time to drink water, and they don't take time to really sit down and relax and enjoy themselves. Even if they go on a vacation, they'll be running to see that, this, and all that, but not real relaxation where they can really chill it out, right? So I always tell people how you go and enjoy vacation is. Just leave the work here out of your mind and then enjoy yourself. And there's nothing wrong like that. So that is self-care. So part of the self-care is this, what is happening within our mind. Are we steeped in a lot of thinking, or are we steeped in a lot of negative thinking, or maybe some grudges, some angers, some quarrels, and all those things that go on, right? We see them among all the relatives all the time. So, how can you be joyful if you are nurturing all those regrets or revenges or angers and all that, right? So, I mean, life is life, things happen, for sure. But then, how do you bounce from those kind of situations? How do you learn from those situations? How do you implement what you have learned in your life? And those kind of things. Okay. So, this calming the mind is part of self-care, and have a routine in the morning, in the evening, to take few minutes of time and getting yourselves together, getting established in that present moment. Come back to the present. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you do, be in the present and then do it. Then your mind will be focused, your mind will be here. To do that, probably getting up and being in this awareness, and then really being in the present moment, is a good exercise to do. All I'm saying is sit down in a good place where there are no distractions and take deep breaths, and then bring yourself to that sensation of the breath. And then the deep breath is so good for you in so many ways. These are all, I'm not talking about any money spent. It's a question of awareness. And then using what we have. The breath is very, very important, right? So, a lot of ancients, they spent so much time on deep breathing, and that really helped them to be energetic and to be not thinking too much. Because with the deep breathing, your continuing running thought will cut down, and then you'll think slowly and deeply too, more thoroughly. So you won't be in a hurry about things, okay? And also, the deep breathing kind of stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest system, versus the sympathetic nervous system, which gets aggravated. Whenever you get aggravated, all these things, the stress hormones, adrenaline, everything stresses because of. But that's only for the danger it's supposed to be. But when if we imagine dangers out there, and then really sit down and brood about it, then this sympathetic nervous system will be overactivated. That is what is happening in the modern life. We imagine a lot of dangers, a lot of things we don't agree, a lot of things we think they're out of place, and whatever it is, we let our sympathetic system, that is what we call sympathetic overload. Antidote for that is what? Stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system. That's where the deep breathing helps. So scientifically, right? So, but people of the ancient cultures in many countries, China, India, Japan, Egypt, so many places, people have developed systems that are pretty intricate breathing systems. I know several of them in yoga practice. I was in the morning. I usually do at least 10 of them. You know, so there are so many different uses for different types of breathing too. But I'm not talking about all that complicated. I'm talking about just sit down, keep your feet on the floor, keep your back straight, and then take deep breaths. And do that as much as possible. Okay. And then do that as a routine every time you go to the bathroom, or every time you go and take a phone call, anything like that. Or if anticipating a meeting or a discussion with some colleagues about something important, whatever, right? You can prepare yourself by taking 3 or 4 deep breaths and go in and see what a remarkable change it will be. People who are stage fright, who really are kind of afraid of speaking to in front of several people, we teach what's called Korsakoff breathing, where you take a deep breath and completely breathe out so that abdominal wall goes in, and then hold it, and then breathe again. That is you do several times, then you will be really um, relaxed. Okay, that's a trick I teach people who are stage fright. Of course, they come to me for some beta blocker or something, anti-anxiety. But first, I teach them this, and then if they want a prescription, I may give it to them. But I tell them, don't go and take this medication unless it is overwhelming to you, unless these things don't work. And then many people took less medication or no medication once they started this deep breathing practice. So there is a question of and addressing the long-term issue of not being dependent on the medications, and also making the body intelligence work better. Okay, take medications when you need them, but don't get into the habit of taking medication all the time. I don't take any medications. I'm now 68. So, right, and I have a lot of energy. I do a lot of things. I think that's all because of the self care I implement. It's not like I'm obsessed about it. It's a natural sleep adequately, go to sleep early, get up early, and then be in the moment all the time, be attentive, and don't worry about too many things when you're doing one thing. So that's how I work. I kind of in the flow and enjoy the work, and then whatever is happening, I pay attention to that. So simple principles that I follow that are natural, that are very, very important for the human body or human mind or human spirit. They're all ingrained within our system. The body knows if you are sleeping early, and then when you want to get up, it gets up by early even without you having an alarm. So that intelligence that we are losing because we depend upon clock or somebody raising us or some hotel people calling us a lot. So all those things are not needed. So we are so far away from our natural inclinations and natural intelligence. That's why we are using all these external things a lot. If you need it, use it. But then what I'm saying is try to cultivate your own natural intelligence of the body and the mind. Train it. If you train them, they will listen to you. Okay. So self-care is should be part and parcel of everyday routine. It should not be something that you have to remember, you have to do. No. There were papers I was presenting to my friends. Uh, they talked about 8 things if you do every day, and you will have a very good immune system, very good healthy system, right? And they start with sleeping on positive thoughts, and getting up early in the morning, you know, and then going to the bathroom, having a good bowel movement, and then coming back. One of them is don't be lazy, get up and go to the bathroom and come back and take your weight, and then go out and expose yourself to the sun a little bit, and then walk a little bit, exercise there, and then cultivate a good appetite, breakfast appetite. Come and sit down and eat a hearty, nutritious breakfast. So all these they each one measures to eight number of things you should do, and that's a very good routine I incorporated into my routine, so I don't have to worry about so many things that way. Okay. Actually, that was one of the people who were really into this healthy routines and all that, and they kind of incorporated them into spiritual routines for people to understand and follow. But I don't want to understand these spiritual principles unless it makes sense to me. Okay. So that's how I investigate these things. But then what they did was, for ordinary people in ancient times, they just cultivated routines that they were doing without them knowing they are good things for them. Okay, drink water instead of the soda and all that. Don't smoke. Don't drink alcohol. Be vegetarian if you can help it. All those very natural things. Okay, one of the things is when you go to your place of worship, whatever it is, sit down and calm your mind. Sit down and meditate, even for a few minutes. So that was ingrained into the regular life. But nowadays, wherever you go, you have information overload. You know, people are arguing, people are really trying to influence other people. People are really bringing a lot of material that may not be meaningful to anybody. So these things are going on, and this information overload is not out there just by itself. We allowed it to grow into it. So we got to pay attention and then make sure we are not overwhelmed by all the stimuli, all the multitasking, and all of that. You know what I'm talking about. So incorporate calming the mind as part of your self care, and you'll be very happy, because mind is not something that you can feed at your will, and you may not be noticing it that it's being fed. You are just passively doing all sorts of things one after another, and then it won't shut off. It's not like a computer where you can delete one and all the data is gone. No, this forms its own neuronal paths. Neurologically, there are connections like ingrained, right? So suppose you are doing something like any habit. Suppose you are listening to only one particular kind of news channel, and then you want to watch at that hour that particular news channel, and you'll be used to that, and then you go back to that when you are deprived of it at a remote place. You go, it's not there, you feel like, oh, I miss my news, that kind of thing. So lot of mental habits are formed because we are unconscious about them. So be conscious. That's a big thing. Conscious thought. Consciously think about things that are important to you. Consciously uh, think about what you are thinking, what are things coming up. Suppose you are working something very important paper, and then you get multiple phone calls, you get all that. You can postpone the calls if you can, or take the messages and answer them later. I don't answer phone calls just like that, because in the office there are two three people that screen the calls and then make sure they are important for me, then only I can talk to them. So that way I never lift a phone at the work. All the assistants, all the people that are there, they used to do that. They could do that. But the emails that I get, the messages I get, DMs and all of that, I put some specific time aside, and I will go do that at that time. It could be, right before I start my routines of the hospital in the morning, or at the lunch hour, or in the evening. But in between, we have a system in the hospital where we can see our own patient problems and all that very in a circuit. So it's very easy for us to do that. But outside phones, everybody wants to talk about something not important, or they are asking for jobs or whatever that is there, right? So I put them all aside because I can put them aside. But there is a system where the nurses can reach me because there's a special ring that happens. So you have to spend time and arrange these things that can overwhelm you, right? Don't allow it all the material, everything just like that. That's also a preparation of keeping your mind calm, right? So you got to organize your emails, you have to organize your messages, all that thing. I don't have to tell you, I think you guys may be doing that, but that's part of the principle of that, right? So this information overload, all these channels and all that, they don't reach me because I do them at my choice, where I want to do that, right? So that's something very easy. Anybody can do that. Yeah, what is meaningful for me? What's important for me? What is that I'm supposed to? So all the emails I answer, only those that I want to reach out. There's so many people seeking so many things, right? They come in even LinkedIn also. A lot of messages are where they want to me to hire them for something, right? I may not even need them, but they want to do that. I have managers, I have office managers, I have billing managers. Oh, there are a couple of things. So I'm only concerned about my patients, right? So you have to arrange your things like that. Then only you will be allowed to not to overwhelm your mind with all sorts of messages, all sorts of notifications, also sales pitches and all that, right? So live meaningfully, live consciously, and make sure that you are really not allowing the mind to be stimulated too much unnecessarily. If you go and work in flow at work, that's a good thing. If you are not, if you are overwhelmed, take a break in between and go and take some deep breaths. I'm seriously saying that, then that really helps you a lot. Okay. Or you can use something like suppose you stop in front of a red light. Take deep breaths without anybody noticing it, without making any fuss about it. That is a very good thing too. But people are lost in the thought, lost in the past or the future, or they are thinking about something that are not relevant at that moment. And that is why living in the present moment is very, very, very important. I think so. I do that, and that's why I'm telling you guys too. So once again, we'll review that exercise I'm talking about. Find a place in your work or in your home, something permanent, something that is can be regularly. You can go there, and that's free of any distractions or any disturbances. Sit in a chair with your feet on the floor and your posture erect, your spine is erect, and then close your mouth and then take deep breaths through the nose. Take the deep breath in, hold it, and deep breath out. You can do that, a simple thing like a few times, and then focus your mind on the tip of the nose and anchor the mind there. And then go on doing this. And then once you establish in the presence, once you are here and now, then carry that kind of with you. Wherever you are, you be present. You be aware of what's going on. And that's a very good. This is like a living in awareness and using the thought, right? Not immersed in thought and let the thought dictate us. Not that, you don't want to really lose your bearings in the present. That is the idea. Okay. And then there are meditations, there are mindfulness practice. There are so many things people do. That is all individual choice. And then if they want me to talk about that, I talked about that. What is meditative mind? How can you don't have to do only like a sporadic meditation, but keep our mind in meditativeness, right? That is the advanced meditation people practice these days. You don't have to take any drugs, don't have to take any cigarette, don't have to take any alcohol, anything like that. But those things are, for the modern, causing a lot of problems. We see the other end of the smokers, other end of the alcoholics or drug users or all that, right? So I see a tremendous amount of human suffering that way, you know. But the executives I'm talking about, the people who are using a lot of information, they can be a little bit more self-conscious about their health and about what's going on with them, what kind of physical and mental habits they have. That all those reflections will help you to know yourself better. Okay, so this is the day that 31st day, 9 more days I will come on this hour for this particular topic, and later on we'll see what happens. Okay, anybody has any questions or want to come up and talk about anything? Because I'm going to close in a while, because if there are no discussions, I said what I have to say for today. And then I want to keep on reminding people how important it is to have this ritual of calming ourselves down, okay, in a very which way. So it will be good for us. Okay. Ivy, you have any questions? Anything that you want to talk about? Come up. People on the wisdom app, anybody wants to come up, come up. Okay. I'm looking at the list. Oh, how many people are there? Yeah, so there are a lot of people. But, yeah, but I have been in a project too. I'm going to submit a challenge, doing a course on something. I'm going to do that. I'm doing it in the middle, but I remember that I promised you guys I'll come on 7 o'clock. So I'm here now, almost half an hour now. So I think we will cut it. But now here, if anybody comes, I may talk a little bit if you have any particular questions or comments or whatever. Otherwise, I think I will take leave and I will come back tomorrow again. Okay, tomorrow we can talk more time because I don't have anything scheduled for the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to submit this challenge submission like about a course at 11 o'clock or so. So I am almost done with it. I will do the final touchings, and it's about servant leadership. I'm doing that. Okay. Um, Anyway, thank you. I will see you tomorrow again.